It is February 2024, and it is time to take a look at the Albuquerque housing market data for January 2024. I've got a couple national pieces I want to show you here first, and then we'll jump into the Albuquerque numbers and what is going on with the Albuquerque real estate market. All right. It is, by the way, it's Tego Venturi Realty Group, a real broker here in Albuquerque, and I've been doing these for years and looking at market data way too much, I think, but I really love to stay on top of it and share it with you. So 2024 home price forecast. This is nationally. This just came up and it just was updated, and that's the interesting thing about it. As you go through the list here, Goldman Sachs, Mortgage Bankers Association, Zillow, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Home Price Expectation Survey, that's a big picture where they survey about 100 different economists, and then the NAR, National Association. And you can see everybody's bumped up their forecast. Everybody's expecting a little bit higher price appreciation this year as opposed to what they were thinking here a few months ago. And these are always changing. And, you pretty much guarantee that these are going to be inaccurate, but it gives you an idea of what the economists are feeling right now about the housing market nationally. The next piece of data I want to jump on is the mortgage rates, because mortgage rates have a really big impact on what's going on in the housing market. In that up forecast that we just saw, price appreciation forecast we just saw, has a lot to do with this right here. So back, we go back to October or so of last year, and then we had a big drop in mortgage rates here back in the beginning of December, and then they were down a little bit, and then they dropped again here a few weeks ago. Now they're back hovering around this 6%. This is a one-year chart, so you can kind of see the ebbs and flow of this. Right now, mortgage rates are just under 7. Every week when there's a different economic data that comes out, this might vary and change a little bit, but it gives you a sense of where things are at. Most economists are projecting mortgage rates to go down through the year 2024, but that's a tough thing to project because there's so many things that can impact mortgage rates. But right now they're better than they've been. We can say that. Okay, so we're going to jump into the Albuquerque market data for January. We're looking at January 2024. We're going to go through number of sales. We're going to look at supply, demand, days on market, as well as prices and what is going on with home prices in Albuquerque. First and foremost, this is all single-family detached and attached homes in the greater Albuquerque area, all lumped together here. Greater Albuquerque meaning the entire metro area. And I've got this broken down by 4 different price ranges to give us some perspective. And so we have 250 and under, we have 250 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 and above. And then the big bars here on the far right of the screen are overall. What we find is that closed sales are down about 6% from last year. And you can see the greatest drop is in that 250 and under. We're going to find that a lot when we go here because the 250 and under price point is kind of going away, to be honest with you. There's not a lot in that range. And you can see that lower middle, we'll call it, 250 to 4, pretty much equal with last year. And then that 4 to 6 actually had an increase. The higher end, the luxury market, let's say 6 and above, dropped a little bit, but it's not a huge move. All right. Inventory, that's always kind of not always, but that's been a big conversation lately, just the number of homes available. It's been very low over the year, really starting in 2019, and I'll show you some perspective on that here in a second. But you can see the number of homes in the market, if we look at overall, exactly equal with last year, but above 2 years ago in 2022 when we were at the really low levels. You can see, again, back to this 250 and under, that dropped 37%, and we had an increase in the number of homes 4 to 6. A lot of that has to do just with price appreciation, more homes moving into that price range. And I do want to share with you, and by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It really would help me out just sharing this message on what's going on in the Albuquerque housing market. And this is all on our website at welcomehomeabq.com. In fact, these charts are just right off my website. I'm just doing a screen record of our website. Pending sales, we saw some improvement there. So we saw a 12% increase in the number of pending sales versus last year. Last year, at the beginning of the year, it was little uncomfortable because mortgage rates were really high. We had just come off that crazy 2 years, and it was relatively slow. So we're pretty much equal back with 2022 pending sales. And remember, at the beginning of 22, it was still a very busy market until mid-22 when interest rates really spiked up. All right, newly listed homes on the market, not a whole lot of relief there for home buyers. I mean, we are getting more, slightly more than last year, but still very limited number of homes coming on the market. I'm going to run through some of these relatively quickly. Month supply of inventory. This is our supply versus demand measurement ratio. We're at 1.4 months supply, which is very low, still very low. But you can see across price ranges, it's very different. So let's just say that 250 to 4 range, 1 month supply, meaning there's 30 days worth of homes out there if everything just kept selling at the same pace and nothing new came on. Under 250, no surprise, about 15 days. But then you get in the high end, it's more like 3 months supply. So it really depends on what price range you're in and what the supply-demand ratios are, of course. All right. Days on market, I'm going to skip right to median days on market instead of average, because this tells us, okay, half the homes sold in this many days, half of them sold for more than that many days. And in January, it was 21 days, which is much higher than we've seen over the last couple of years. However, that's still very low historically, just because we're coming off of those crazy years of 21 and half of 22. And again, it's all based on price range 2. Homes that are more expensive stay on the market longer. Homes that are less expensive sell relatively quickly. Showing traffic. This one I love. It gives us an idea of how many people are actually seeing the homes. This is based on tracking how many times homes are shown based on the lock boxes that we use. And it gives us a sense of just, how many people out there looking. It's actually down, from last year, which is interesting because pendings were actually up. Not sure what that means. Maybe it's just that people are a little more not looking at as many homes than they were last year and getting them under contract. All right, pricing. Everybody wants to know what's going on with pricing. So we're going to look at median price per square foot. So this is of the home that sold, which is a nice measurement because it eliminates some of the square foot variations we get in overall median price. Price per square foot, $200 a square foot. That's 9% higher than last year. Last year was 5% higher than 22. You can see, though, in the higher price point, it's pretty flat. It's exactly the same number, $248 versus $248 a square foot. However, no surprise, you get in that kind of middle price point, lower middle price point, $250 to $400. We saw a 9.5% increase in median price per square foot. If we look at it from an average standpoint, a little bit lower. It's only 6% from last year. And right now, based on all the other data that I'm looking at, as well as this, we're tracking somewhere around 6, 7, maybe 8% price appreciation across the board. Again, that's not one individual home. It's just when you average it out everywhere, it appears to be that year over year price appreciation is somewhere in that 6 to 8% price range. And then finally, median price. Median price, all the homes that sold in January was $325,000. That is 6% higher than last year. And then the average price for January was $365,000, which is 4% higher than last year. Packed a lot in there as normal. If you've got any questions about real estate in Albuquerque, you can reach out to us. We are the Venturi Group of Real Broker. Our number is 505-448-8888. And again, all of this is on our website at welcomehomeabq.com. Just look under market, the market tab, and monthly data, and you'll see this whole chart that we just looked at right there.